go inside the inside. And this is what examining yourself is. You go the inside of your insides, man. You go to the deep parts, you know, because only you know what you're going through. So you got to go into the deep inner parts, into the deep layers. Y'all seen that movie Inception? You know what I'm saying? That Inception, when you go into that guy's mind, he went like 3-4 levels deep, man. Dreaming a dream and a dream. Then he was fucking with his wife in the dream. It was like, how the hell? In her dream. It was like, yo, he was going deep because he knew he could go there. DiCaprio, he knew he could go into the minds of the people that was already in the dream. That's deep. See? So it says, Salah, set aside the thought that are most heavy unto thee, and hasty to flee from these times. For yet greater evil than those which have seen happen shall be done hereafter. So more and more, it's going to get heavier and heavier. It's going to get thicker and thicker. It's going to get worse and worse. You see, these times that we're talking about. So you got to set yourself right, man. You got to, man, you got to put yourself in order, man. Examine yourself, man, when you're being the truth.
Right, because you got to think about it. If you're not handling what's befalling you now with the right spirit, what makes you think you're going, when all hell breaks loose, what makes you think you're going to be able to withstand that day? So that's why the brothers keep saying, examine yourself whether you be in the truth. Because if you bitching about what's happening right now, excuse my language, then you're going to take the chip in that day. Go back to Sirach.
In Sirach chapter 2, verse 2, set thy heart aright and constantly endure. Right. Make not haste in time of trouble.
Right. Now, the scriptures say, make not haste in the time of trouble. Now, get on Luke 9:62. And you get
those who are not fit. Those who are not fit. You know, what it say, those who take their hand off the plow are not fit for the kingdom of heaven.
that's what you're
This is Luke. This is spirit.
Luke 9, verse 62. And Yahweh Shai said unto him, no man having put his hand to the plow and looking back is fit for the kingdom of the Most High.
Our hands on the plow right now. We doing the job right now. So if you look back, hey, that's why it says remember Lot's wife. You can be burnt with this place, man. You can be taken out with this place. You gotta look at 28. Yeah, you know? Go ahead.
Again, it's a lot. You got it.
It's Luke chapter 14, verse 28. It says, for which of you intending to build sitteth not down first, and count the cost.
Now you gotta count the cost, man. You gotta count the cost. You gotta understand what you're into. That's why the scriptures say, let every man be fully persuaded in his own mind. Because you can't come in here with a double mind and think that, you know, well, I kind of believe, I'm on the fence about this, but you out here doing the work. But you're not truly about your how about Shema Shah. You're not truly down with the work. That's why we ask, when we stop people, we ask them, do you truly believe in the Bible? And then if they say they believe, then we're going to start to test them. What do you believe should happen to a homosexual? If it's a woman that swears she believes in God, can your man have more than just you? Nah, you don't truly believe. We truly believe. We 100% in this thing, man. The cost has been counted. We know that tribulations and temptations is going to come upon us, man. We understand that. And to the best of our ability, we go in for the Lord, man. And we understand sometimes you might go off. But we pick ourselves back up through the spirit and power of Yahweh Hashem Shah.
There's Revelations chapter 10. There's Revelations chapter 10, verse 8. It says, and the voice which I heard from heaven spake unto me again, and said, go and take the little book which is open in the hand of the angel which standeth upon the sea and upon the earth. And I went unto the angel and said unto him, give me the little book. And he said unto me, take it and eat it up, and it shall be, it shall make thy belly bitter, but it shall be in thy mouth sweet as honey.
Right. So when you first come into this truth, you hear you an Israelite. You know, you hear you Yasha Allah, Prince of the Power. You feel good, man. You feel good. That tastes sweet all in your mouth. But then once you start obtaining wisdom, because scriptures say, oppressor maketh a wise man mad. So when you start obtaining wisdom, you start to feel more oppressed. You start, your eyes start to open up to the atrocities that's done to us. And you start to get upset, man. And that's that bitterness of this truth. And when you first come into this truth, you believe the kingdom is coming tomorrow. You got that exciting feeling, you got that burning feeling, and you know the kingdom is coming. We almost out of this thing. But then 2 years go by, 3 years go by. The bitterness starts to sit in your belly, man. That's how it is, man. That's this truth. You gonna make haste? No, man. You not no. That's why the scriptures say, make not haste in a time of trouble, man. Because everything's not gonna be all sweet and dandy, man. We wasn't put here in America for things to be good, man.
And verse 10, it says, and I took the little book out of the angel's hand and ate it up. And it was in my mouth sweet as honey, and as soon as I had eaten it, my belly was bitter. So that means, hey, when the Heavenly Father, of course you get the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, it comes with pros and it comes with cons. Because now, the person that we used to be, we can't be that person no more, man. We have to sacrifice everything, all right? And for some people, that's hard. Even for us, it was hard when we first came into this thing. There's certain things that we're just accustomed to doing ever since we was young. But then the Heavenly Father said, hey, look, that's not a part of the ministry that I gave you, all right? You can't do that. That's not a part of this, all right? You got a lot of jakes who used to smoke, you know? You can't do that when you come to the Heavenly Father. You have to be pure. Your mind has to be set aright, all right? It has to be just tasadat, all right?
Jump back and look back.
Yeah. There's Luke chapter 14, verse 28. And which of you, intending to build a tower, sitteth not down first and counteth the cost, whether he hath sufficient to finish it? Lest happily after he hath laid the foundation and is not able to finish it, all that behold it begin to mock him.
Right, so right now you're laying the foundation. But if you can't finish in your journey of trying to obtain your crown, if you bow out, if you say forget it, I can't do this anymore, then you're gonna be subjected unto being mocked at, laughed at, man. You know, because you can't finish what you started, man. You gotta be a man. Ain't nobody ever said this was supposed to be easy. Things are gonna happen, man. What you got? Go ahead.
Ecclesiastes 1:18, for in much wisdom is much grief,
Yep.
and in he that increaseth knowledge increases sorrow.
Yep, go into a shot.
And that's the point, you know, like the brother was saying earlier, you know, you may come in, you know, tomorrow you're gonna think, oh, hell's breaking loose, you're real hype. But soon enough you find out, the more you grow in wisdom, this truth is all about endurance. You know, endurance and keeping your integrity.
If I can add on to that too, and that's part of what it means to be bitter. Because the more you know, the more you're accountable for it. Okay? And the more the Heavenly Father gives to you, the more it's required of you. Okay? So now that you have more wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, you're liable of more lives. Alright? You're accountable. Okay? And sometimes it can be grief, because the flesh goes against the spirit. Alright? And you want to do things in the flesh, but the spirit tells you, hey, look, this is what you're required to do. Okay? So it becomes grievous. That means now you're getting tempted by Satan more. Satan want to fuck with you. He's trying to take away your time from the truth. You know?
Frozen.
So